Thank you for clicking on my video, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build this motorboat build. As you can see, it is a slightly different variation from the one I showed in my previous video, but it is the same concept and the same frame, just a few tweaks which I'll go through as I build it. So this will be a step-by-step build, and what you're going to need for this build is a total of 32 ceiling pieces, 59 walls, 2 windows, window frames, along with 2 of each sloped walls, left and right, 8 foundations, 1 boat, 5 ramps, 8 sloped roofs, 19 railings, 5 catwalks, generator, straight cable, straight electrical cable, a couple pieces, intersection cable, and 2 outlets along with 5 turrets to build exactly what I'm going to show you here today. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy. The first thing you're going to do is get your boat and put it in the water. And there it is. Let me get some gas in here. So what you're going to want to do for starters is make sure you're in a little bit of deeper water, just so you can work underneath the boat if you have to. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to jump on the boat, so you're on this view, and you're going to want to put a pillar down. Now, I'm doing this a little bit different than the one I showed you before, just because I'm going to make it flush so it looks a little bit nicer on the inside, as you'll see at the end product here, but it's pretty much the same exact build. So what I'm going to do is, once you're on the boat, you're going to want to click Y without looking left or right. So if you mess up, just make sure you look at the boat without looking left or right, click Y again, or just jump off whatever your access button is on, depending on what console. Then you're going to want to use your hotbar for your pillar, and you're going to, without looking left or right, move just your left stick, and then use your right stick just to look down, so you can get that foundation, or that pillar, to land up right in here. Now with the foundation there, now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put with the pillar there, you want to put a foundation off to the side here. Once you have your foundation down, what you're going to have to do is take and put another pillar on this foundation, like so. Then you're going to delete this pillar, and you're going to put a foundation over to the left where that pillar was. And as you can see, it's balancing between a high and low. You want it to be on the low one. So that was not a good placement. And that was a good one. So as you can see, it's lower than the other one is. Looks a little weird because the textures for some reason are off right now. There we go. And then what we're going to want to do is you're going to place another, although you can delete this one first. Delete this. Delete the floor too. And then you're going to want to put another pillar, and you're going to want to rinse and repeat and do this again. And you're going to want to do this till you get it to the height you want. So now I want to go all the way down. Let's do it one more time. And if you do this to the right height, should be able to. Hold on, not quite there yet. Alright, so now that I got it at this height, you can see that I can still access the boat. So now what I'm going to do, now that you see that I have it extremely low, pretty much flush with the bed, just about, you're going to see that I can still access the boat. So I'm going to finish off the floor here. And then the reason you want the middle one missing is so that way when you're underneath the boat, you can still grab it from underneath. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to jump on the boat from underneath. So make sure you leave the middle foundation missing. After you have this step done, the next step is going to be to place your ceilings to finish off your floor of the boat. Go ahead and place a grid of ceilings all the way around the boat, as I do here. Alright, so now that we have our grid of ceilings around our floor on this boat is pretty much done, now we will work on the ramps next. So we're going to jump back into the water here, and we're going to finish off the front ramps, so we don't have to worry about these and we can get them off the hotbar. Make sure you place these on the front for obvious reasons, and this is going to make it easier for us to finish out the build by being able to jump back on the boat. Alright, your next step is going to be to finish off the side walls on this boat. Now remember, we want this boat to be 2 high, and we only want to do the 3 sides and 1 on the front of each side, because we want to have our slants so we can still see over this build. I'm going to go ahead and put windows up here because I prefer to have windows just so people can be on the inside and still see. And then it's up to you if you want any windows in the back. I'm going to go ahead and cruise through this here and then just follow my lead. Alright, now that you have your side walls done, we're going to start getting to work on the ceilings so we can get the ramp set. So we're going to finish out the ceilings now, as you can see here. Now it's going to do this to you in some spots, and it's a pain in the butt, but you might have to delete some stuff. I'm not going to count this in the build cost, but usually what you do is don't build here first, and then snap it off of that so it doesn't do this, as you can see when I do this. See how it's sticking? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it and then I'm going to place it right away. Just like that. It's most likely going to do it again here. Just like that. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And then we're going to close off that back. Looks like for this part you're going to want to make sure you have the angle right to make sure it places correctly. I like to have my stuff neat like that, as you can see. After you have finished your outer rim of ceiling pieces, we are going to then go to our front wall here and we're going to build our entrance. And then we're going to build our ramps working up to those out walls. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a wall, and you're going to want to place 2 walls on both sides to block off your entrance here. I'm just going to make sure that she looks nice and pretty. She might be sticking out a little bit over here, but I'm not too worried about it. No, she looks pretty good. So after that, you're going to want to get your sloped walls. You're going to want to put 1 on each side, pointing inwards. Or with the big end inwards, I should say, pointing towards the front of the boat. Once again, we got another one of those rubber band things here, where it's really annoying. You're going to just want to hit that trigger, make sure you're at the correct angle, and then go ahead and place it. Just like that. Now we're going to put our door frame in. We're going to put our door in. And now we're going to do our slanted roofs. Just like that. Now this is going to allow us to be able to walk up the front of the boat from either side. now we're going to work on our ramps coming down from the sides. So you're going to have to start off with putting a wall on the back of each side, just like this. You're actually going to want to do all three of these. So we're going to go like this. Now we're going to do our slants coming down to the center. So it's only going to let me do this one right now because of this. I will not be able to flip these because there's no point over here for it to connect to. So we're going to go to this side first to start, and we're going to snap all these in. We're going to close off our cap here, just like that. So after you have your right side of the boat done, now we're going to work on the left side. Now this is going to be a little more complicated and you will have to waste one piece. So the best way to do this is to waste a piece you don't care about. I'm just going to go ahead and I don't think I actually have any walls of wood or anything, so I'm going to use metal. But I would recommend you use thatch or whatever because you're going to be deleting this piece here. But we're going to place a wall right here. And then we're going to put a sloped wall right above it. I can get it face the other way. I might have to go on the outside. I might use the other piece. There we go. Now do not delete that wall yet. Now what you're going to do is use your slope ceilings. And you're going to finish off this side. Now because it's connected here, you can now delete the wall. See, we now have an almost fully enclosed box here. Now you do have to crouch once again to get underneath these side parts. However, you can get underneath here just fine. Once you have finished off your sloped roofs, the next step is to finish off the shell by placing 3 ceiling pieces, just like now that we have our shell done, we're going to go ahead and place some railings up on top, and we're going to leave some spaces for turrets. Alright, for the turrets I'm going to switch this build up just a little bit from before, and we're going to add some catwalks in here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go off to the corner here, and you're going to want to use that snap button again to make sure you get this in the right place. Just like that. And then we're going to place a turret right on there. And we'll make it look a little fancier at 45. I'm going to use those underlying parts to kind of match it up on the metal. And we're going to go ahead and place it right there. And then we're going to actually enclose this off with a railing. This way we can have the railing, we don't have to worry about falling off, and we can still access the turret. Once you are done with your turrets on the back, go ahead and close off the rest of the railing. This way we can still access the turrets. As you can see, and we're not going to fall off. We'll do the same thing to the front. There we go. Now we're going to throw 2 more turrets on those. so. And then we're going to go ahead and close the front off. Now we're going to need to power our build, so we're going to go inside, and you can pick where you want to put this. I like to put mine up here in the front. And just get it as straight as you can. You can use the lines on the metal down there as your guide. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring it over here towards the center a little bit. I'm going to use the back. You see how it's clipping through there as my adjustment for how far back I need to go. So I'm going to go this way just a little bit and make sure. And now she is not clipping through. Makes it makes it look nice from the outside. After you have your generator placed, you're going to want to get some electrical cable. I'm going to go and hotbar these. You really only need straight pieces and intersections. Alright, and we are going to now power our build. Alright, now that we have our electrical grid placed and our generator hooked up and turned on, you're going to want to go up to your turrets. You should not have ammo in them at this point, and they should still be off. You're going to want to turn them on, and you're going to want to go ahead and hold Y, or whatever your access button is. You're going to want to change your range to high, and you're also going to want to change, depending on PvE, PvP, this is totally up to you preference-wise. I prefer mine only on wild creatures. And then I also have no warning, and make sure that's set. And leave the turret on. So we're going to do this to all the turrets. Alright, now that we have all of our turrets set to powered on, and our settings to how we like them, in my case high and wild creatures only, what you're going to want to do is go back down below deck and turn the power off. At this point, if you want, I do not have ammunition on me currently for this video, but at this point you may load the turrets, and whenever you turn that generator on, all of these turrets will automatically power on. You do not have to go and cycle them on manually, and they will automatically shoot whatever is attacking you. So as you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and turn this back on, and the turrets went up right away. Alright, to finish off this build, we got one more thing to do, and that's our cosmetic decoration on the outside. You're going to want to come, now this is totally optional, I don't like this look personally, but if you agree with me, you're going to want to come underneath here and you're going to want to use some wall pieces. Let me snap those on my hotbar quick. And as follows, just go around the outside snapping some walls on. As you can see now, we've got our reflection boat. It looks like it's all the way down to the water. It looks nice. As long as you're not under the water, you can still get on the boat from the bottom. As you can see, we are finally done with the build here. I'd like to take a moment to thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys have any thoughts, please feel free to let me know in the comments. If you guys plan to use this, or if you like the build, make sure you hit that like button. And if you want to see more art content or game content in the future, make sure you hit subscribe. Thank you for your time, you guys.